Hey guys, Doughboy here, back for another video in this Destiny playthrough series. This will be the second mission. Today I've got Pocket Infinity equipped. Starting today, because the first mission you can't have any exotics for, so starting today, every mission I'll be playing through with a different vanilla exotic. I plan to go through the whole story all the way up through Rise of Iron. So I'll play with a exotic weapon, sometimes 2 exotic weapons per mission, but with the vanilla story I can only double up on one mission. So every mission will have its own exotic, except one, probably a later one that's a little bit longer. I'll mix in 2. But right now, I'll roll for the first mission with Pocket Infinity, because it is the only exotic. I believe so. So tell me in the comments if I'm wrong here. It is the only exotic in Destiny that is not carried forward. So like Icebreaker Forever was left in the past, but now it's at 400 light. You can upgrade it. This one I cannot upgrade past 170. That is the highest. See, it requires level 20, it requires level 40. So this was left in the past because it was pretty game breaking. Because what the fusion rifle does, or load in here while I'm talking, sorry. So the second mission is called Restoration. If I can find it, it's hard to find because, you know, tons of stories through the years. So there we go. Restoration, level 2 story. Or level 40. 344 light with Pocket Infinity, so this should be pretty easy. Anyways, so Pocket Infinity, 170 light, so it's the only exotic that was left in the past, because it's a fusion rifle, which you have to charge to shoot, and it's a 3-round magazine, but if you keep holding the trigger on it, it will keep firing indefinitely. So you go through all 3 rounds in one burst, which originally I think it had a 5-round magazine, so you could shoot all 5 rounds continuously like it was an auto rifle. So that's a little overpowered, because right now in fusions and PvP, if you miss in the first burst, odds are you didn't kill him, and your odds are you're gonna die, because by the time you charge again and shoot, you're already dead. So this one defeats that. So if you miss in the first or second burst, you can just keep going through and mow him down, especially when he had 5 bursts. So pretty overpowered. Let me give you an example here.
There might be parts we can salvage.
And I forgot about that too. You get them back if you miss. Let's look at it. Surplus. Expect to find more ammo. And you get more ammo for it. And not just this. I think surplus, even though it says for this weapon, because I'm running a surplus right now. Actually, I think I'm running it on my... Yeah. I'm running surplus right here, which I think it says for this weapon too. But surplus, it allows you to pick up... so that... If I was just running this as a special, it allows me to pick up more heavy ammo. Even though, obviously I am running, but say I was running this rocket launcher instead, I would still pick up more heavy bricks. Still pick up more heavy ammo from each brick for this weapon, because this weapon has surplus. So it is a very underrated perk that not a lot of people use. But anyways, the fires full auto mode and has a chance to return rounds that missed in the magazines. And that's a pretty good chance, because I just missed everything, because I just fired into the sky there and got all 3 rounds back. So pretty overpowered weapon, and there's a reason why it's still at 170. So anyways, let's progress with the mission here. Gotta go scan this over here. Again, we're in the Cosmodrome, same spot you spawned in for patrol, which is back on that little ridge. So if you patrol the Cosmodrome, that's where you'll spawn. Gonna come to this crashed ship. There's some enemies over here. Pop these guys with some headshots. Oh, Ultra. Not Ultra, sorry. Major. And see, I got one clip. Not clip. Got 1 round back there, because it killed the Major in the first clip. And I got the second one back, so pretty overpowered weapon.
The ship's avionics are completely catatonic, but I can code their last transmission. They managed to restore an information hub here, down in the tunnels below. We should check it out.
Sorry, turn my audio off there so you can hear that conversation. So it's just a crash ship. Again, I forget why. think we're trying to get a part from it. Yeah, that's right. We're coming back to get a part from it. Again, I forget why now. Destiny 1 story, not very... Obviously, there's a reason, but it's not like on the surface. You have to dig a little bit. This one's maybe a little bit more obvious, but as it gets on, I still don't know why we're doing some things. And actually, in the future, they... Oh, chest right here. They lumped all these story missions into quests, because originally these weren't in quests. You just kind of played them, and you kind of... Once you played one, two more missions would pop up that you could play. And you can play them in any order. So there was really no coherent story. Like you couldn't just play it and understand what was going on. You had to dig into the lore or listen to guys like Bife. My name is Bife on YouTube. Listen to his lore videos. Again, map of entire area, which is true. Where are we? We are... I forget where.
So we can jump to any planet or moon.
Because okay, this is the Mouth Yards. That ship was right here.
We have to go back.
So this is an accurate map. And actually, that's where I have to go. But why didn't we have this map in our HUDs? Like, why couldn't we just pull up our Ghost and that map pop up? Like, why not? Or maybe not instantly pop up, but why can't we do something to make it pop up? But I digress. Okay, let's move on before this becomes a. Oh, it's a wall there. Before this becomes a hour video, which I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter, around 20 minutes. Again, the primary I'm using is Fatebringer. You'll probably see that a while, if not the Vision of Confluence. Fatebringer was a great weapon. Got neutered in later years, but it's up close. It's still as deadly as it was. If you saw earlier, which I'll show you right here, if you get a headshot, their head explodes, and you get a quick reload bonus. So I can reload super quick. So this is a slow reload. You saw the one before. It was instant. Almost instantaneous.
Scanning for the warp drive.
And it did arc damage, which this one does, because this one is also lower light. So actually, you might not see this very often, because I'll put on my Vision of Confluence I got. That's higher light, which is they brought that back too. I accidentally deleted my Fatebringer that they brought back, so oops. Switch to this. So you can just keep firing indefinitely. I forgot if it did that originally, or if that was bugged originally, but like I killed him and it came back. I want you to melt this boss. Like this is just I thought I was a Bubble Titan. I'm not a Bubble Titan. That's funny. Lightning grenade's doing the trick though. Double. Hahaha. Nice. So that was a pretty short mission. What are we at here?
You just killed an Archon. And we got
Only at 8 minutes, so I'll do the next mission. I will definitely do the next mission. Let's move on to... So now put on the Praetorian Foil, which is another Vaulted Glass, which was the first raid. It's a Vaulted Glass legendary. Extremely rare to get in year 1. Nowadays it drops pretty commonly if you complete it. Obviously I already got it. Probably only played through the raid 6 times. Where before, people would play through the raid like 20 times and still not get it. So, this is the first time I ever got it, so obviously, naturally kept it. So let's move on. What's the third story mission called? What is it called? It's called The Dark Within. Still on Earth. King's Decay. No, it's over here. The Dark Within. Slow that up and talk about the next exotic I'm going to play with, which is Hawkmoon. So this was a PlayStation exclusive exotic for all of year 1. I'll go back to it. PlayStation exclusive for all of year 1, so until the Taken King came out.
There are reports that the Fallen back at the Cosmodrome are keeping a pretty tight guard on the old Skywatch. Could be one of their leaders, or it could be something valuable.
And what it's boasts, it's got Luck in the Chamber, and then Holding Aces. 2 more random bullets in your magazine deal considerable bonus damage. So 3 of the 13 rounds in here will do a lot of bonus damage, which is pretty good. And before they nerfed hand cannon's range, this could hit like a truck
Skywatch is just on the other side
from
of the steps,
this range even. And now watch.
surrounded by fog.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised. I actually did almost kill him. But that's a shank. I just missed and I put it right on him. So they're new to the range. Back in the day, that would be no problem. I could probably just, you know, do something like that where I just quick scope him. See, barely hit him. Barely hit him. Got a little closer to hit him. Still a great weapon, but just hurt by the hand cannon nerfs. And this is not how it looked in its original state. Before I die from these guys. This is not how it looked in its original state, because I have a what are these called? Crap. Ornament on it. So this is how it looked in its original state. Just nice classic look, black and silver. Let's get our sparrow. Yep, and jump over there.
You know, this place
Sorry, I
is
got a scuff. I had to move around
thousands of
the trigger stops so I can actually hold down the trigger all the way if with this.
cities beyond.
That's all the colony ships, as I talked about earlier. Yeah, no, remember in the first mission,
Up the hill.
we saw those fall over. And they're standing back up, so that just kind of shows how much of a mess the original story was. Because we saw those get destroyed in the first moments in the game. And now they're back magically, so. So we're going to Skywatch. Heard a chest back there. But I'm not going to get it, because what's the point? No, he honked at me. So Skywatch has a
We're in.
pretty remarkable loot cave in
This
it.
report of Skywatch is
If you weren't here for year one, not even year one.
linked to the lunar colonies.
If you're here for Vanilla, which is back in September 14, I forgot when they nerfed it. I think they nerfed it by October.
Dead end.
But you could just sit there for hours. Enemies would come out every 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes, 5 seconds. So you should just sit there for hours on end and get all the loot you could get. That was back when legendaries decrypted into rares, though. Quite often. Pretty often. It was pretty rare to get a legendary from a legendary engram, which was kind of shitty. So, they fixed a lot of stuff from vanilla. Okay, now we're introduced to the Hive. This is all Hive.
What is this? Lots of motion ahead.
I think it's Hive eggs, I think. Maybe crap? I think it's eggs, though. Music. See, the music of this game, it
The hive.
brings you in. So that sound you hear, I'll show you when I hear it again. I got 2 more bonus rounds. Not there. Not there. Right there, that chime sound you hear after a shoot means that it was a bonus round. Right there. And I missed. Let's use this. I haven't used this ever. Focus on. I'm still Titan Slam, so let's slam. And again, just lots of aim assist. So you can argue that's not skill. But just a fun game. The gunplay is just so... Because I played Borderlands 2 a little while. I just couldn't
You have to kill it.
hit shots like the same. I guess it took more skill and I wasn't used to the game, but this is just fun. You can pick it up and just get used to it. So kill the wizard. That's a pretty short-lived mission.
I haven't been on Earth
Again, they were all pretty short-lived missions, but then again, we are highlight.
a lot closer than we think.
So those enemies that came after were more dangerous if we were lower level. Anyway, so right here, I already picked it up, so it's not here. If you're playing it through on your first playthrough on a new character, will be a gold chest. It doesn't contain the best loot, but for a low level player, it contains pretty good loot for your level, but you go past it pretty quickly when you rank up. You'll get better loot pretty quickly. But for a mission or two, it's pretty good. There's a bunch of those scattered. We'll try to remember all the locations. That's definitely one of the memorable locations. We actually passed one in the first mission. I forgot to mention it. But you can't miss it. Not first mission, sorry. The second mission. First mission in this playthrough. We passed it when I was talking about Fatebringer, when I was talking about the Outlaw, I didn't pass it because I already picked it up, but you would pass it. You can't miss it. Your ghost even says something about it. But you can't miss it. It's on the table as you're going through. After I was talking about Fatebringer, through I don't know how to talk about it. Going through to where we actually met that boss and fought him. You just can't miss. If you miss it, yeah. Not gonna talk about that, but anyways, so that was second and third missions. That was Restoration and the Dark. No, not Dark Below. Almost said that. Dark Below was the first DLC. That was the Dark Beyond, so which introduces you to the Hive for the first time. So pretty easy missions with some fun exotics in Hawkmoon and the Pocket Infinity. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to catch my streams. I do them typically Sunday through Thursday at midnight, which with a apparent or occasional noon stream, like actually right now. This is Monday, and I'm live right about 2 p.m. Been live for about an hour, so a little bit after noon on the weekdays occasionally, but mainly at nights around noon to about midnight to 2 or a little bit earlier. So thanks. See you next time.